welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Alien tonight, currently talking about Chuck running his bare feet through Jeremy's carpet. So let that image sink in as much as you want. But yeah, we're continuing. We got a full squad again tonight, so we'll have to catch Matt up with exactly everything that happens. And there's those feet. Oh God. Ugh. And so let's just jump into some character introductions so we can get as much play in tonight. We'll start with Melissa. Who are you? Who are you playing? All that kind of stuff.
I always forget that I go first in this game. Melissa with Adventures in Lollygagging. You can catch us here every other week for this game. On the off weeks, we play Ultraviolet Grasslands, Fridays Delta Green, Saturdays Blades in the Dark. In this game, I play Master Sergeant Margot Barrett. She is theoretically in charge. She frequently runs away or does other things because that's how stress works in this game. Was very excited last time because I got the field commander talent, and so now I can issue commands twice in a round. So I'm having fun with that.
With both your fast and your slow action, right? You can do.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So you're just sitting. She was sitting in the hallway last time, Matt. They were like exploring
just
like this
orders.
Abandoned station fighting stuff, and she's just, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this the whole time. It's great.
Sounds like Melissa. Was she cheating at the same time?
But well.
Probably.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. She's probably rolling too many dice, something like that, because that's exactly what it works. How it works. Next up, we've got Chuck. What's up, man?
Me. Hey, I'm playing Koenig, our dedicated marksman, who is now not dying, which is fantastic. I enjoy that greatly. Yeah. That's what I got. I don't know.
Yeah. Plus, he does a bunch of streaming stuff.
Oh,
Defenders,
yeah.
go check out
Defenders. We do shit over there.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is that they saved Koenig as well. We learned we were doing some stuff a little bit wrong. Nice. Fixed it, but he is saved, sort of. So we get to hear more about his ex-wife. Someday we might get to meet his ex-wife. We'll see. She's gonna be great. No, we're not. I think no. Yeah. Okay. Next up is Jen.
Hey everybody, it is Jen. I have a streaming channel called Pixel Preller where we play games, and tomorrow night, which is Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central, we should be playing Tribes of Midgard some more. And then Saturday over on Defenders of Cobalt, we should be doing Forbidden Lands at 1 p.m. Central. Right, Chuck?
That is highly accurate.
And you might find me crawling around tonight for a bit. I'm playing Sergeant Zoe Ripper, and decided to be a bodyguard.
That's right.
And now I'm
like
crawling.
The toughest person in the party too. For like Claymore. It's so great. That was great. Okay. Bottom row, Adam. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Abbott, the synth or artificial person. I'm a hospital corpsman, and I've just been having so much fun getting adventures with my good buddy Claymore. And we fought side by side. It was a dream come true that we could actually experience this together, because Abbott can't normally get into combat, but against other artificial people, he's all about it. Something I'd like to plug tonight actually is every now and then I do some soundtracks for movies, and one just came out on Amazon Prime. So I hope that it's going to let me post a link.
I have no idea. If it doesn't work, I'll repost it though. Looks good.
Yeah, it's called The Wretched. It is a pretty campy, independent film. So check it out. And if you like the music, awesome. If you don't like the music, well, then nuts. But
so very kind. Okay, right on. Very cool. We should drop it again later before we leave. We should make sure we do it again. And then our missing Marine from last week, we got Matt. Who are you?
I'm back. I'm back as Donald Spuds McKenzie. here to observe and protect this here squad. Good to be back.
And your Hutch is actually still alive, and he has a synthetic arm now attached to where the hole is. So much like an old He-Man, much like a He-Man action figure, he just popped a different arm in the little socket, and everything's fine. So we'll see how it goes. Right. But he's there. He's on the ship.
Oh wow. You got the prompt updated in there too. Look at that. Call of Cthulhu every Tuesday. I was gonna say, no, Jeff, we're not doing that anymore. Well, we are.
Boom. Look at that.
Oh, we are on Sirenscape starting tomorrow on the Sirenscape channel. And Alien on Sundays on Free League. And Jeff running Delta Green for us on Thursdays on Carpet.
That's true. And then we've got a man with 2 arms. That's Jeremy.
It's true. I'm going to be playing Corporal Heckler, AW Claymore. I'm here to make sure that Mama Bear gets whatever she needs. And on a personal note, Abbott is a horrible piece of machinery, but if you don't like Adam's music, don't listen to what he said. To hell with you. It's amazing. Listen to it.
And also
if you like comic books, you can check out Black Blizzard on Kickstarter.
There's the updated link as well in the chat to number 2, by the way, because Aaron's already put out the first, so this is number 2, and you can get both 1 and 2 in this Kickstarter too. I think it's one of the pledge levels is that as well. So definitely go do that. And then I think we're ready to go. Also, never mind. We'll talk about that later. Let's just get started. So Matt, you'd be happy to know they finally got off the moon with the Hyperdyne factory, and. Good. So the big thing is that you guys managed to get some information. You were able to kind of take care of some of the things that your commanding officer wanted you to do, which included retaking the moon. You were able to kind of hold out there until some reinforcements came to relieve you. And you were able to kind of ascertain certain information, or sort of discover certain information about Hyperdyne's like block projects and stuff like that. But you were not able to find the USS Asteria, which is the missing Conestoga. I think it's Conestoga frigate. I don't know. It's a frigate. No, Bougainville class frigate or something like that. From that is a warship, so to speak, that is out there somewhere, possibly under the control of these renegade synthetics. But you also managed to discover these coordinates that were kind of getting beamed out into deep space, trailward. To a location that was beyond the 20 parsec limit. And so you all packed up your things and you headed out there. So you headed out beyond the network range. So no mother access except what you have local. So you can't, there's no internet access here. There's no Wi-Fi. And you are current. So you found, by the way, as you were exploring, you found the source of that signal, which seems that there was apparently a station out here, just like drifting in deep space, not part of a system. It wasn't a comet, it wasn't a planet. It's just a station, some old station that looks like it was kind of an old Hyperdyne lab or Hyperdyne service station, something like that. And it had some guns, some big old Gatling gun defenses that you managed to shut down at least one of those. The group docked, and you boarded the ship. And upon boarding the station, and upon boarding, you noticed that a few things. First of all, you noticed there was stuff crawling around on the exterior of the station. Didn't quite get a good enough look into what that might be, but there was something outside, functionally moving around the outside. You also saw it was there's a lot of damage. There were 2 specific places where, like, you can kind of think of it like a giant capital I is sort of what the station looks like, and you guys parked in the top, and you went inside. You found that there were some of these places were not necessarily under power, not necessarily under atmosphere. Gravity is kind of inconsistent here and there. As you were exploring, you found that there were some Sentry guns that had been left and shot at you. You took those out, but then you came across a room with some kind of sort of retaining wall being built for reasons, and it was being built by maintenance jacks, which is some kind of similar to like the Working Joe android, or maybe it's the Hyperdyne version, not sure exactly. You got into a bit of a fight with them, and we ended with you all being able to take care of them. So they're down, they're out, they're I think there was like a curb stomp at one point. And finally, we ended with, there was like a sound of rattling in a vent. This vent cover kind of got kicked out, and you saw like a spider that had squeezed itself into a tiny little hole, like the hands and the legs came out and then pulled itself forward. And it was some kind of gangly, strange looking humanoid synthetic whose eyes suddenly shone bright, has that same kind of uncanny valley look on its face because it doesn't have proper features. And that's what you're staring down at right now. So let's get started, as we are actually going to start in combat. I think we're going to be in initiative right off the bat. Unless there's questions. Are we good? We good? I think we're good.
How far away did I crawl?
I'll say you crawl back to the entrance to the room. So there's a couple other people who are between you and it. So
okay, just checking.
Yeah, because in the room with it, I mean, there was a little bit of time between when all of the maintenance jacks went down and when the rest of you got up. So I'll say you guys can kind of position yourselves however you want.
Okay.
But yeah, this one's just there. So let me go ahead and spool us up some encounters here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
There was one of them that had the cutting torch.
Yeah.
Was that like welded onto it, or is it something that could be picked up?
I would say it's something that could be picked up.
Okay.
Then
I'd like to say really quickly something to Claymore.
Yeah, go for it.
Claymore, I need to see the Sergeant Zoe Ripper's wounds. But in order for me to be able to do that, that artificial person will have to be dismantled.
It's Christmas then.
I knew I could count on you.
All right.
He just looks at you like it's some sort of trick.
All right. I put Spuds in the combat tracker, but Spuds is technically not with them, but your guys are not that far in. So, Barrett, if you wanted to get on comms to order him in or something like that, you perfectly could do that, especially considering how you've already faced resistance thus far. So you're welcome to do that, and so we'll take him like a round or two to get caught up. But let's begin. And Barrett, it is your turn. There is this gangly-looking synthetic creature with a kind of these glowing eyes, this kind of greenish complexion, and you can see it's wearing sort of utility clothes of some kind. And you can see, like, just above the breast pocket, it says KIT, kit. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I am going to go right back to using my field commander. So I am going to do an order to Abbott as a support for him to fix up Ripper. And second order is going to be to Spuds. Spuds, get your ass in here.
Roger, Captain.
And that's my turn.
Okay, so you ordered Spuds, and what was the other order you did?
Abbott.
Okay. Oh, to help out Ripper. Okay. Abbott, your turn. You're up.
Okay, I'm gonna approach Ripper, and I'm going to see if I can at least get her out of the broken status or see to her wounds and whatnot.
Okay, go ahead and roll your med test.
Sorry, I forgot to roll command.
So you get +1.
Yeah, so that one is for Abbott, and then the second one will be for Spuds.
Okay. We'll say Spuds, you could roll a mobility test just to see if you can get there like on the next, when's your turn? Like roll a mobility test, and if you pass, we'll say you jump into the combat on the next turn. If you fail, you'll...
Do I get bonuses from her
successes? You get 2. You get +2 when it's your turn. Abbott's finishing up. So Abbott, 2 successes. So 1 should fix the break. It's the broken condition. I think you got winded as well. You got the 11. She got the nicest injury as well, so I didn't have to worry about that. And then I think the second success should be she can heal. You can kind of add that to healing as well. It's like take an extra point of health back.
I would like to do that.
Okay. Do you want to do any movement or anything?
No. I will just kind of make my turn just all about fixing her up. So
Okay, perfect. Then Spuds, go ahead and roll that mobility test really quick. And +2 from Barrett, giving you calling you up. Okay, so
I shouldn't have any stress, should I?
No, you should be clean. But you still got the
that?
success. Nah, don't worry about it. It's fine. But you can clear your stress.
Cool.
Okay, so you go. So you come in through. So they floated on over, and we'll say you're probably. I'm gonna say it makes sense for say someone is like watching the docking clamps themselves. Like they didn't go through a specific umbilical. They literally just spacewalked over and then like free walked inside. And so we'll say that you just start running. Now you run through what looks like a very cramped corridor where there were these 2 large sentry guns that had sort of been set up. They've both been dismantled, but you probably at some point might have heard them chattering about it here and there. And eventually you come to a T section and like a T intersection for a corridor. You get right to the intersection. Off to the left, you can see and hear hear through your comms the commotion. Probably within a movement of you can see everyone kind of huddled together in what looks like a room. Off to your right, there is the right side of the T section. There is another door that goes that way. That door is sort of, think of it like submarine style, like bulkhead type door, but it's open. It's not like it's jammed open. Then it's gonna be Koenig's turn.
Okay. Do I got clear line on that green dude?
Yes, no one's actually engaged them yet. So
good. I'm taking him down. I'm gonna take aim. Give me a +2 on this and just put a shot with my rifle right in him.
Do it.
I got 3 successes, but I want to go ahead and push that.
Okay, go for it.
Oh
no.
Okay.
Go berserk again.
I'm keeping it together. That's all right. So was that 4 successes altogether?
Yep, 4 successes. Okay.
So yeah, 5 damage.
All right. So let me roll. It does have 3 bits. Do you have armor piercing?
Yes, it is armor piercing.
All right. So then, yeah, all of that gets through.
Oops. I accidentally rolled it. I was wanting to read the stats.
Okay, so all of that damage got through. And
Cool.
so as you shoot in at it, you can see very much like the T-2000 or whatever it was from Terminator 2. You just see this big welt open up right in the chest, this giant circle where there's an explosion of like that synthetic blood. And you can see it kind of flies its shoulder back, this gangly arm flailing, smacking against the wall behind it. It kind of twists and turns. You can tell it's got like extra, like its joints or like there might be extra movement in them. So the head kind of tilts and moves. The arms kind of shift and move. It seems very like wily and elusive. But it's still standing too.
Okay. It's both my actions.
Claymore.
I was a little further in the room. Is it close enough that I'm able to swing at it, or do I need to move towards it to do so?
I would say you probably need to move towards it to get to it.
Okay. Well, then I will.
Yeah.
So of course I will.
So you charge in. This thing's already leaking from its chest.
Okay, good.
Took a huge wound from Koenig.
You know what I would love to do? Gonna heat things up. Gotta shove my brand new cutting torch into your gaping hole.
Okay.
That's really disappointing.
Just too many die. We've been over this 100 times.
There we go.
That's
I said I'm going to shove this flame right into your gaping chest hole. Didn't you hear me?
Okay, yeah, and you just do this beautiful, like almost Jackson Pollock, just like random flick of the wrists as you just cut in this vertical upwards heave all the way through the torso, and all of the organs just spill completely out. Its arms, almost like these marionetted puppet type figures, just start to shift and jingle and jangle, and then suddenly it becomes completely immobilized.
There's no strings on you.
It will be its turn next. It can't really do much as it's immobile, so it's not going to move. I think instead what it will do, it will let out it'll open its mouth. You will hear a hefty amount of static come through, and then this high-pitched beep, beep, beep that will kind of cascade throughout the room. And you can hear that it's getting faster and faster and faster as the beeping goes. Yeah. Everyone go ahead and take a point of stress.
Okay.
And then Ripper, you are up. You're no longer broken, so you've got your actions this round. What would you like to do?
I've got clear line of sight. I would like to use my my little hand pistol to shoot it. Preferably where it's beeping.
Let's see. Claymore is up there now, so we'll say like take like a -1 mod to that.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do. Describe how you kill this. Where do you shoot it? And,
Ooh.
as you bend the bullet.
Oh, you can communicate with it. I hear the beeping and I aim at it and shoot it right in this. I guess it's coming from its mouth.
Okay.
Right in its face hole.
And its head just you blow it clear the hell off. The torso drops and falls, slumps against Claymore, and just drops down. This big streak of like white now down your suit. The head bounces off the wall and kind of comes to a stop in the corner. And you watch beep 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 beep, and then it explodes moments after. I'll say Claymore, you're the only one in melee. Go ahead and roll a mobility test to see if you can get away from this thing.
Okay.
You do so well with exploding things.
You're fine. You
Oh,
got
thank
away.
goodness.
You're good. So yeah, you managed to dodge out of the way because it's not right on you because you weren't still managing to kind of rolled it away. But this thing explodes and bounces into the corner. And all is quiet for a moment as Spuds comes hustling up right as the explosion happens.
What did I miss?
Well, here's a quick thing. So the yellow ones, when you get them down, they'll beep. They're calling for a green one. But if the green one beeps, kick them the hell away.
That's fair enough.
Also, we need to kill more toasters.
Okay.
We need to sweep this area and see what else there is to subdue.
Aye, Sarge. Captain.
Okay. Do you want to? So you've got a moment. You haven't explored too far yet. Is anybody doing anything for stress recovery? You know, you've got your little bits, and if anyone has got banter, or if you've got your personal items, stuff like that, or are you gonna press on?
That's just Sergeant.
Yes, Sergeant.
I understand that your evolutionary trait that allows you to perform under duress is much needed in times of duress. However, I do recommend that we take a moment, if we can, to regulate our heart rates and to allow any potential adrenaline to run its course so that we can continue to make solid and intellectual, logical decisions.
No.
What the hee-haw is he talking about there, Claymore?
I have nap relief if anyone needs it.
He's only saying that, Barrett, because you ran away last time.
Fair point. And I
that
think
was
I've
not my
already
point.
taken some nap relief in the last 24 hours during this shift, I believe.
I'm just gonna put in one of my headset earphones. Leave one ear, open to listen. You'll just hear Claymore in the corner. Beat on the bat, beat on the brat, beat on the brat with the baseball bat. Oh yeah.
Is anyone
Even the
else-
music he likes is about beating people.
That's
I'll, if everyone else is, I'll take a few moments, pull out my necklace with a monster tooth on it, get all zen on it. Like one day, bam, right into the ex-wife's eye.
Dear
Oh,
God.
jeez.
We're the good guys.
We saved him? We're gonna get her murdered at some point. Jeez. Oh, dear
Gonna
Okay.
keep him busy far, far away.
Is anybody in
Way
need of nap relief for me to administer it to them?
I am not. How about anyone else?
I'm fresh as a June bug.
Ah, yes. June bugs are quite fresh.
And crunchy.
They come out in early summer.
I'll be.
We're good. Let's do some. Is there anything else in this room that we haven't looked at?
So you haven't really had a chance to look around at all, but if you want, go ahead, roll observation, Barrett. Okay.
3 successes.
So basically, I'll give you 3 things. First, there's this kind of retaining wall that they seemed like these maintenance jacks were kind of working on this for some reason. When you look at it, it looks almost like it's being built in kind of a half circular fashion in front of this console that's like kind of built into the wall. It doesn't look like itself is like one kind of full enclosure. But you start looking at, there's like a stack of these panels on the ground, and you can see that, you know, all of these, they just looks like kind of construction material, and then there's just a bunch of other like half broken down pieces of equipment in here. Some of it's trashed, some of it is relatively new. There's like a huge array of like how recent some of this material is, but all of it seems like they were, again, kind of creating this sort of half circle in front of this console in the wall. Console doesn't seem to be functional currently. The other thing you notice is that as you start moving a few things away, everything was kind of dark in here. Not super dark because there's some lights, but you start flashing the lights around. You notice that on one of the walls there is something has been sort of scrawled and what looks like some kind of dark oil or coolant. It's not blood, but it looks like it might have been, you know, something from something dark in the sense that it's dried dark, and it's almost like a cave painting. Is anyone here intelligent? Like, is anyone here like well read? Like, you know, or we all just like just shoot the guns and that's about it.
Well,
I'll say
I haven't necessarily read many things as I have been programmed with them in.
Abbott, once you see Barrett kind of peering at this, maybe you walk over and you take a look, and you would probably peg this as like, it looks very much like a Venus cave painting from like ancient Earth. If anyone's familiar with that kind of image of kind of like a headless woman, but then like a kind of the female form, and it's surrounded by these fairly expressionless humanoid faces, and all of it, again, has been painted on, or just like with a hand, with a brush, you're not sure, but it's all been painted over the room here and there, and it's painted more than once.
There once was, long before anyone like myself would have existed, once was some ancient art found that had depicted something some people still would venture to debate what it was, but some consensus is that it is a form having to do with fertility, such as this. And it is odd if synthetics are doing that. It's like it
matches with them calling it nurseries back where we came from.
Nurseries, yes. Mother, and not in the mother that we would think nowadays. But it would almost be like them expressing some form of unpracticed art, or that this is a reference, but not many would get it.
And they're frequently busy killing humans, not so much with the...
Yes, I believe this is an allegory to them claiming that they have cognizance and that they are starting to formulate their own culture. But it is still mimicking human culture.
Well, let's make sure we take some photographs of that in case we end up destroying the rest of this place.
Koenig and Spuds, as the two of them, Barrett and Abbott, are standing there at the wall, the two of you watch, like you notice, too late to be able to do anything about it, but you do notice that on one of the kind of perpendicular walls near where they're standing, like they're kind of near a corner of the room, you can see there's this tall console. You're not exactly sure what it is. It might be a server. You're not entirely sure, but you can see suddenly sparks begin to erupt, and you see this huge arcing of electricity that goes from the console itself, and you can see that it manages to arc right into Barrett and Abbott. Barrett and Abbott, go ahead. Both of you make mobility rolls.
Oh dear. That's one success.
That's what I'm really good at.
Oh.
Okay. Take 2 points of damage, Abbott.
Sweet.
Barrett, you're okay.
Does
Barrett,
armor
you managed.
soak it?
What's that?
Does armor soak it, or is it straight up
armor-
damage?
Straight up damage, armor, and you were technically stunned, but since it's combat, since it's not combat, you're stunned. There's no big deal. Just lose your next slow action. But you see this arc come across, and Barrett manages to duck out of the way just at the last second, and it smashes into Abbott. Abbott kind of, you see him jitter for a moment. You see he looks kind of lost for maybe 5-6 seconds, and then almost it's like things kind of reboot or reset really quickly, and you feel a little better. But Koenig, Spud, you both saw it just come directly, almost like it was targeting them.
That's odd.
The hell did that come from?
I'll draw my rifle and point up to it. Came from up there. I ain't buying that it was an accident either. Ripper, you want to take a look at it?
I mean, I've got my diagnostic tools, but what could I do?
Comtech roll, and we can figure it out.
Okay. Because I didn't know if I needed to be like closer to it.
Yeah, you would have to use your tools. Yeah. By the way, Corrine threw us some stress heals. So if you guys need to heal stress, you can heal 2. 3 is enough to discover a few things. First, you notice that above the console, you see what looks like some kind of security camera. And you can see as you get close, it's sort of the optical lens like twists, turns, almost like it's focusing, unfocusing, and you hear this small motor as it moves ever so slightly. Second of all, you notice that as it's kind of focusing in you hear this buzz begin to charge up within the console itself, but you're able to, with your electrical tools, quickly kind of shove them in behind one of these panels to short out whatever was about to erupt from it.
Huh. That was a close call right there.
The hell is that about?
Well, that's not my big brother, but it is a big brother.
If that's toaster culture, then the hell with the culture.
It also means if we didn't blow our element of surprise before with all the gunshots in the hallway, that's definitely gone now.
I am inclined to agree with everything everyone has said. Yes, even you, good buddy Claymore.
I really appreciate your budding friendship. Maybe one day it'll grow into a full-blown bromance.
Unfortunately, that is impossible.
Nothing's impossible. You just have to have a can-do attitude.
Speaking of a can, it appears that I've been opened up like one. I'm currently operating at 22% efficiency.
Don't make us do math, you jerk.
Ripper, is there anything you can do about that?
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Okay. It's a mystery.
I was just like scratching my head.
Just too confusing.
22%.
If you,
Oh my gosh.
if you were to take the amount of hits or bullets I could take and divide them by 9, I would be at 2.
Oh my.
Well,
Told you I don't want to do math.
it's just gonna have to do for now. So Jeff,
It
you said
looks
this
fine to me. I don't know what the problem.
Rip
There's
some
a
dirt on
console?
it. Let's go.
You said there's
yeah.
a console behind like a partial wall.
Yeah, it's like they were constructing some kind of, and the panels, I should say, by the way, are they're like bulletproof glass, and you can see that's like setting up this small arc in front of this. Again, it's not kind of hooked up. You can see the console itself has been newly installed behind this kind of half wall of a semicircular. You can see there's more panels that are on the ground that you would imagine the maintenance jacks were probably going to be putting up. And you do like a quick bit of math, and you can see that they probably go all the way up to the ceiling. Like it's almost like it's encasing this console.
Ripper, is there anything you can do with that console there? See what they were protecting here?
Sure, I'll get right on that. No problem.
Can't fix Abbott, but we can be nosy with that console.
My goodness. Okay, you notice you're not sure what this does, to be honest. It actually looks pretty much like a standard access terminal. Like you think it's just once hooked up. It's currently not like plugged into the network of the station, but from all intents and purposes, it just looks like a standard console with one sort of major exception. Is that there are these strangely modified ports that are like kind of arrayed across the top with some kind of like sort of like the female receptacle is not any sort of design that you would be familiar with, but you can see that there's a whole spread of them across the top of this this wall console itself. Another kind of curious thing is that there doesn't appear to be any visual screen. Like there's no monitor anywhere in the console itself. All of it just seems to be, and there's no like there's no physical input device, no keyboard, anything like that as well. But aside from that, it just looks like a heavily modified like standard control console.
Oh, this doesn't look right in some ways. These are all females up here. Where's the males? And these don't look right anyway. What do you make of it, Abbott? Does this look weird to you? There's not even a monitor over here.
It looks like it would be very hard for someone to interface with the system.
Well, yeah, a person.
What are you suggesting?
Well, you're the can, so to speak.
Ah, are you hungry?
No.
That was my attempt at humor. Did you need me to take a look?
Barrett will jump in and say, Claymore, can you find anything on that body that we sort of destroyed a bit that might be an interface?
I'll be happy to tear it apart and look.
Yes, doing so would give it an interface lift.
Okay. So you start. So this is the one in the room that Ripper blew the head off. Is that the one you're looking at? Yep. Okay. All right. Spuds and Koenig, three of you roll observation tests for me. You're the only ones who don't seem to be occupied with something. Claymore, you start just ripping through this thing without any major issue.
2 successes.
Oh, okay. So, okay, you're keeping together just fine. All right. Spuds and Koenig, both of you hear something from back in the T section. Remember, it's a T. You guys went in a room on the through the left edge of the top of the T. And Matt's not aware of this, but Chuck, you might remember two of the maintenance jacks were wrecked out at the intersection. That's where Abbott and Claymore were like kind of buddying up and smashing them down and curb stomping, and then like the bifurcation. Spuds, with your extra success, you kind of peer back and look at what the sound might be, and you can see one of these green-skinned service kits that has arrayed itself in such a way that its torso is kind of parallel with the ground, and its arms are kind of up and angled in such a way that it almost looks like it's a creature on all fours moving across the ground, its head kind of tilted upwards. And you can see that it's grabbed with one of its arms the torso of the bifurcated maintenance jack, and is currently dragging it right now back to the other side of the T section.
Okay, I'll tug at Koenig. What do you make of that, buddy?
Boy, that is some fucked up shit.
Yeah, you guys could both take a stress for that too, by the way. It is really unsettling just to look at. It's literally like a spider is dragging this thing away.
Should I open fire?
Hell, Barrett, we got movement out here. One of them green fuckers is dragging their dead out of the way. They don't seem to be aware of our current position. Should we move to engage?
They don't seem to be aware of our current position. Let's see if we can gather some information from this console that might help us as we move forward.
All
If
right.
we don't get anything shortly,
Sarge,
then we'll move
Sarge.
forward.
Spuds, you and I'll keep an eye out here. And if you hear gunshots, it's time for you all to stop playing with your little computer and come help out.
Roger.
Okay. So you guys see as it folds itself, so this is Koenig and Spuds, you see as it kind of folds itself in through the crack in the jammed door on the other side of the T-section and manages to tilt the torso of the maintenance jack vertical and slides it through into the opposite side, the parallel side of the T-section. And then it disappears into darkness at the other side. So back in the room, Claymore, you start ripping through this thing. Roll an observation.
Oh no.
Or Comtech if that's better. You can roll that too.
Well, you'll be shocked to know that they are equally bad.
I know.
But you know what? Just for fun, I'm gonna roll Comtech.
Yeah. I mean, you've got some goop on your hands right now, and you've got all sorts of android innards, but hell if you know what the hell to do with them.
If I can tell you a secret, I don't care.
I figured you would. Figured you'd be okay with it. Okay. Now, in this room, there is a hatch that seems to go downward, deeper into the kind of the shaft of the eye shape of the station, and then there's the T-section entrance as well that kind of goes back that way.
Didn't we weld the upper and the lower so that the only way would be able
I think
to
you
go
did
forward?
I think you welded it in the back. There were like when you first came in, there were alternative routes you could take, and you welded those alternative routes. But like you still left an open path back to the. Otherwise, Spuds would tell Matt to go away. So yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay, and so that's the way that he just came up. So I'm gonna assume there's nothing there because he just came up that way.
He didn't see anything.
All right. If we can't get in this console here, then let's move forward.
Again, it's not powered. Like it's not hooked up. It's not powered. There's like you don't. It's none. Doesn't seem to be connected to the network. It doesn't. It's just it's in place. It's like it's been riveted in place into the wall.
Okay.
But you're not sure exactly what to make of it.
Yeah,
It doesn't
we'll keep
look
an eye
like
out for
anything you've seen
something that
before.
looks like the mail end or something.
Okay. So the two main other ways you can go are the T section, which is the way that spider thing just went, and then there's the hatch going down.
No, we got to move up on this thing, and it's not aware that we're here. That gives us a chance to lay an ambush.
All right.
I got some rope on me. Why don't we tie up a snare? Either Spuds or I sneak up there, set it in place, wait for it to come back out, pull the snare to distract it, light it up.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds really fun.
I agree. Any chance you get to, I don't think the snare is going to be effective, but at least it'll be entertaining.
Just
Sure.
like Boy Scouts.
Yes, sir.
What's Boy
Okay.
Scouts?
I'll take point.
All right. I'll get my rope out and tie it up in a snare and
Okay.
hand it up to Spuds.
I'm gonna try and sneak up there.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a mobility for your stealth.
Pretty good.
All right. It's gonna be contested. All right. Okay. You move up to the other side of the T section to where there's the sort of jammed open door. You peer inside, quietly, carefully. Probably don't shine too much light in there either. And it is pitch black. You don't see, there's no light other than the first couple feet where there's just a little bit of the emergency red light that's over the intersection, like where the actual intersection of the T is. A little bit of that kind of red, yellowish kind of rotating light is cast into the first couple feet of the room. Beyond that, it is pitch black. You hear skittering here and there on the inside, but you don't see anything else.
Okay. I set up the trap.
Okay.
And I'll pull back.
Okay. You set up the trap, you pull back. Walk me through what this trap does or looks like.
Yeah, what does the trap look like, Koenig?
It's just a rope snare. Like it's okay. A loop with a pole, and just lay it out.
You've got the other end?
So I've got the other end of the rope. So as soon as this thing steps through, I give a yank on it. At least distract it.
Did you set it inside the other room, Spuds, or did you set it like in the lighted part of the T section?
In the lighted part of the T section.
Okay, and then you guys all kind of retreat back to the room that you have control over. Okay. So Koenig, you after a moment or two, you feel the line grow taut. Go ahead and make a strength test, just a pure strength test. This will be contested. This will be contested. 1 second.
As Koenig goes flying.
Koenig goes flying. 4.
Oh, no.
So you guys watch. He's holding, and all of a sudden, Koenig just maybe bitching about his ex-wife or whatever. He just suddenly gets flown, and he's like horizontal in the air for a moment, goes smashing down, laying prone on the ground. You don't let go of the thing, and you slowly get kind of dragged out into the middle of the T section, and you look up, and you can see that there is that spider creature that looks to be trying to get to the bottom half of the maintenance jack that it had already grabbed the torso for. But I'll say it is in fact snared, but it has you tethered until you let go, of course.
Oh no, my buddy.
Spuds, you are ready to go, so is there something you want to do?
I would like to shoot, because
my
buddy's in trouble.
Yeah, go right ahead.
My buddy's in trouble.
You want to push?
Yes.
All right.
I do.
Okay. It's a total of 3 successes. Is your rifle armor piercing?
It is armor piercing. And thankfully,
right.
I took rapid reload with my last buy.
I got 1.
Because my clip just went dry.
Okay, I got 1 negated, so base damage 2 plus the extra success. So it would have been 3 total damage. I get to absorb 1 from my armor built in, so I took 2 damage. So you fire away at it, and you kind of light up one of the sort of the shoulders. Remember, this thing's laying kind of like a horizontal torso, and you just light up one of the shoulders. The arm kind of almost looks like it's having a little bit of trouble there. The rest of you hear this. Everyone can go ahead and take an action before this thing's going to try to do something, because it moved into the room and got stuck, and then it yanked Koenig. So everybody can go ahead and take something before it goes again. So if somebody else wants to do something, call it out. We don't need to go into a full initiative yet.
I'm just gonna command both Abbott and Claymore to attack this thing.
Okay. Man, if I rolled like 6 successes, I was just gonna yank your arm off. Yank it right off.
Would have been cool with
Old
that.
Chucky 2 arms.
Old Chucky 2 arms.
Right. Okay. So roll your commands, Barrett. You gotta roll. Remember, you have to roll the tests. Okay. So who's that first one for?
First one's for Claymore.
Claymore, you get a +1, and then second one
is for Abbott.
Abbott also gets a +1. Okay, so both of you get +1s. What do you want to do? You see Koenig on the ground, kind of getting dragged toward his thing. Spuds just put a couple into this spider-looking creature out in the T section, trying to go for these legs. Abbott and Claymore, you're up.
I mean, I suppose since I actually care about Koenig, I won't go into melee combat with the torch.
Okay.
So instead, I'll just beat on it. I'll go back to humming my song from earlier.
So you hurry over, humming the song, beat, 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 beat. Get up right next to it. Go ahead and roll, and because it's a little bit tethered, go ahead and take +2 for this because it's kind of struggling to get free, so it's sort of stationary.
So total of +3 after the command.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
It's still going
cool.
to try to dodge. It does have the dodge ability, but you can still get +2 on your attack, I think.
Wow.
That's really, really good. Let me roll my close combat. See if I can. 1, and then I got to roll a stamina for your thing, right? Because it's the I passed my stamina with 2, so no stun, and then armor. How many successes did you have? 4.
4.
All right, I negate 2. So you've done 2 damage to it as you take the stun baton, you bring it down over top of it. It begins to shake. Abbott, what would you like to do?
Comply. So I will go and I will attack it.
All right, go for it.
But this time I noticed that Claymore put his torch away.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to use the torch I normally do. I'm going to go up and hit it with the tank for the torch or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. And you get the +1 from Barrett.
Oh yeah, whoops.
Whoopsie. Go ahead and just roll an extra d6. It's fine.
Okay.
I negate 1, but I still get the other one through. Okay, so you do, I think, a total of what? 1 damage?
Yeah, because I'm essentially using fists,
All right.
even though I'm flavoring it like the tank. So.
So you smash down on it with what weapon again? I'm sorry.
I was just the tank for the torch, as opposed to
Okay.
actually using an open
Okay.
acetylene.
You
Flame,
smash down in the back of this thing, and you can feel the sort of the rib structure on the back just crumble and explode, and you can see bits of fluid begin to peel out as you have caused a severe chassis breach. This thing is sort of struggling to move at this point.
It is operating at 0% efficiency. Perhaps you could finish it off.
Stop with your stupid math.
And then Ripper, if you wanted to go finish it off, you probably could pretty easily. As this thing's not moving, it's stuck in a trap.
This is you. Let's see.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Oh, thank goodness.
Walk
And
right
I'll
up.
be ready to chuck the head away.
Yeah,
just
you walk
in
right
case.
up, take a shot of it. You football toss the head down the T section. You see it explode after a few moments, and this thing has become inert at that point. What you guys like to do
That-
now?
I think was my best idea ever. Well, second best. Well, third best. First best would be leaving my ex-wife. Second best would be telling her kid how much of a disappointment he was. And then the third best was this right here, catching a killer robot spider with a rope.
Yes. Next time we might want to work on the technique a little bit so that you don't go flying after you catch it. But
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Definitely
That
made
would be
my
really cool.
top 10 most fabulous list of things I've seen in my life.
There you go. It's a wonderful day. Another great day in the Corps.
Okay, what do you guys want to do? So you got this thing dead on the ground. What do you want to do?
I want to take one of my pups and toss in the air in the direction of that dark room and map out whatever's up ahead.
Sure.
Good
Yeah,
thought there.
that's easy enough to do. Okay, so you go into this dark room, and this, so the room itself is probably, as the pups kind of map everything out, it looks to be maybe about 8 to 9 meters wide, or deep, I should say. So it's maybe 25 to 30 feet in length, much more narrow. However, it's only about maybe 15 feet wide or so. Your pups are picking up all sorts of other clutter in here. You're looking like other machinery or cabinets or consoles. You're not exactly sure what they are, but you're seeing other stationary things to kind of create a bit of clutter here and there. You also see, and I'll give it to you because you've already seen them. Your pup kind of picks up what you think might be another turret at the far end, but you also notice, because it doesn't give you too much detail, but you also notice there's something piled up kind of in the far right corner of the room. So but it doesn't look like there's anything like moving about currently.
Okay. And this should be displaying to everybody's PDATs. They'll syncs to all of them so everybody can see what's in there. And there's no other room past this?
Yeah, you do see what looks like a sealed door frame as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and a hatch going down.
What's the order, Sarge?
Let's straight ahead.
Check out that sealed door then.
Yeah.
Okay, who goes in first?
Get behind it.
I would like to stealth in if possible.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and roll mobility.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
There we go.
There goes my arms.
So you step in as quietly as you can, probably keeping the lights down as you kind of move into the dark room at first. And you get maybe 5-6 steps inward. You bump into something. You hear something rolling across a countertop and smash to the ground. And then you hear what sounds like something spooling up. You hear, and then the turret at the far side of the room, which is in Overwatch position, catches your attention, catches your movement since you failed your movement roll, and will get an attack. This is, let me see.
I'm gonna lose an arm here.
I get 8.
Oh.
Right in the arm.
I get 8d6 for this one.
Well, we now know that we
God.
can replace them.
Oy, I only got 1 though. Only 1 success. So
My armor?
Yeah, roll your armor.
Oh.
So your armor doesn't negate successes, it just negates damage.
Yeah.
The UA571C automated Sentry gun, however, has a base damage of 4. So
Oh no.
you absorb 2 damage as this thing,
I'm not broken.
and you
I
you
drop to the
slide
ground.
down.
Ah!
Yeah, you're perfectly in cover now. It can't get you, but you're well aware that thing is active, and in some kind of overwatch position as you come in. The rest of you kind of hear him kind of shouting, and as his comms come on, you can hear the sound of the gun as well.
Well, shit. Let's go get him.
Yeah, we gotta
Right.
get him out.
Snakey, snakey, snake.
Do we have anything that we can use for some type of cover or anything?
Yeah,
I
you got a
thought we
dude's got a
just
shield.
did.
Oh, wait. I got a great idea.
Yes.
The rope.
What this
And
time?
there's old dead dude over here. We take a leg, we toss it in, and then we start dragging it and get it to start shooting at the leg.
Oh.
And use that as an opportunity to shoot it right back.
So you're saying we can basically shoot these synths all over again?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have it shoot the synth, but
Yeah.
still.
I have
So
one
it's hot
question.
synth on synth violence. You're
Yeah.
on fire today.
Abbott,
What you
last
got,
question.
Abbott?
Is this arm that you're going to be throwing into the room, is it going to be anywhere near Hutch?
God, I hope not.
Because if you are to throw it ahead of Hutch and you are to start dragging it backwards, eventually it will come to where Hutch will be.
Well, I'll go over to the opening. Hutch, Spuds. It's Spuds now. Hutch is dead.
Who the hell's a Hutch? You
I'm
already
sorry.
forgot my name. I'm not dead
Hutch
yet.
is alive too. Hutch is
I was
alive.
about ready to say M, and I was like, no, that's not it. Because I'm looking at
Same
Zoom. Yeah,
Show your
Spuds.
flash your light up in the air so we can get a feed on where you're at.
Okay, yeah, you do. You're at a line of sight of the gun, so you're fine.
So,
you-
the,
yeah.
the skill here is going to be throwing it in a location that is not going to end up
Oh,
right on
God.
top of Spuds.
Yes.
Okay.
Order
we
you
take
to
this plan,
throw-
Sarge? Can we maybe send the fellow with the shield in?
I yell
I
in.
mean, I
We check it, and then I charge in, and then we just shoot.
I'm not dead yet, but I will be.
Can't tell you your chances, but you have my sympathies.
There are other ways to go, right? So we could just like do the distraction, pull him out, and go a different way.
Yeah. Well, Spuds, you're not down yet. If we give you a distraction, you can make a run for it. Or you did mention sending in Claymore with a big old shield, hoping for the best.
I mean, if I can avoid being shot, I appreciate it.
Let's leg it up.
Okay.
But
So
is he running or are we shooting?
Oh God.
Think he got the short straw again. He needs to get out of there.
I think the idea is you throw it in there like you're going fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With that, and hopefully that gets the gun to start shooting at it, which then
Yes.
frees up time for Spuds to run towards, but runs back to the door. Is that
Hopefully
correct?
it will
Okay.
give him a leg up on the situation.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
And we will use Claymore's shield if we need to.
Okay. So Koenig, you go in, you throw, like you don't go all the way in, you just gotta peek in, throw. You do not hear the sentry gun go off.
Pull
It's
it,
not
wiggle
working,
it.
guys.
Sometimes you put your bait in there. You just can't let your bait
Wait.
just sit there. You gotta
Wait a moment.
get it to dance.
Wait a moment. Sentry guns.
Yeah.
How do they work again? Do they go off of motion or body heat?
Listen,
We were
you're
testing
asking-
motion. That was our first option.
Anybody who
Well-
wants to roll a ranged combat knowledge check here, go for it.
I'm real good at ranged combat. I can roll.
Yeah,
that.
go for it. Okay.
Got a success.
You know that sentry guns can be set up a variety of ways. Most commonly, they're always going to be an overwatch, meaning that they will fire, when they get a suitable target that comes in and is moving. But they also can be set to friend and foe settings, where they can specifically kind of record something that would be friendly and not fire at that. And considering synthetics have a tendency to be built the same way, it's probably not too difficult to make it that they don't attack synths.
Oh.
So, send in Abbott.
To retrieve.
It'll still shoot
Spuds.
me.
We send in Abbott to go disable the thing. Just flip the off switch.
Yeah.
You good with that, Abbott?
It depends. If you are good with it, I will do it. If you are not, then I can't.
I'm good with it.
Very well.
I mean, it's either this or we tie that green thing onto Claymore's shield. Send him going do. I'm a synth.
Don't throw him a synth. That's amazing.
Yeah, but are you
Let's
going
do this.
inside? Are you going in?
I was just told by someone who outranks me to do it.
Okay.
My programming says to do that. Yes.
You walk inside. You take a couple steps in, and you hear, and it just unloads on Abbott as he runs inside. Abbott looks nothing like these synthetics, just so you know. Like Abbott's a modern day Hyperdyne, looks like a human synthetic. These are
Yes.
working Joe. And it's
Yeah, no, Crosell is correct. I was already contemplating that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I saw your face when she gave you the order. I'm like, I think Adam knows what's about to happen. Adam, do you have armor? Go ahead and roll it. I only got one success again.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
God. You take 4 points of damage as this thing just...
hang on. We're going to do this.
Okay. Oh, God.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
no. It
you
didn't
lose
work,
your-
and there's yogurt everywhere now.
I'd fine. I'll dangle the stupid green thing off the front of my shield and walk in.
Oh, my God. Okay.
God bless it.
All right. Claymore, you're able to move in. Oh, man. You got an arm or something dangling off the side or the front of your... You attach
Yeah.
the legs of this thing to the
Yeah,
front of
basically
your
its feet are
shield.
in my face.
Yeah, I
and
got
the rest
you.
of it hangs over the front.
Okay, so, and you walk inside, and you hear as if it's like spooling up, as if it's confused, much like the rest of us about what the hell to do, and so it doesn't shoot momentarily. What do you do while you're in here?
If it how far away is it? It's something that I could get to in a movement, basically.
About 25 to 30 feet away, and it's also there's a very cramped and cluttered in here. There's a lot of that kind of construction equipment in here. It would take you 2 actions to move all the way across to the other side of the room with this.
You know what?
And a mobility test, not the trip.
Yeah, Claymore's not like really looking to handle this subtly. He's just gonna, on the bottom of the pulse rifle, it has the grenade launcher. I'm just gonna lob a grenade at it.
Okay, beautiful. Sure. So roll the it's not a hard shot. I'm not gonna make you roll it, but roll the damage for it. The explosive power. That many D6s.
What does it tell you how many D6s? I've got the HEDP grenade. Is that it? I think it is.
Yeah.
It says 9.
I mean, if it's just a straight up, then roll 9 D6.
Blast 9, yeah.
Yeah, blast power 9.
So
you should be able to. Nope, it's not clickable. So you just have to do.
Is it? I might be doing it wrong. I apologize. So
just roll flat 6s. Just don't try to just punch the bottom right. Okay. 3 6s is enough. I think. Let me double check. Make sure this thing. I also noticed, by the way, this thing was armor piercing too.
Oh lord!
So we were rolling your armor. Yeah, you throw the grenade to the other side. It explodes. However, we're gonna do a little high or low action. Jeremy, roll a D100, but call high or low beforehand.
High.
Okay, go ahead and roll a D100. Okay, you're all right. You're all right.
Okay. I'm scared of what that was for.
You threw a grenade in the middle of a space station that might have exterior portholes and walls and things like that.
SMRT.
Yeah, just right. Okay, so the thing seems to be destroyed enough to the point where it's no longer functioning, no longer shooting. Everything's fine. You pop your lights on. You see Abbott laying in a pool of his own synth fluid. You see Spuds, he's got a wound very clearly as well where he got shot a few times. Armor seems to be holding up. He seems functional. You also notice there looks to be a few other things in here. There's a pile of something in the far corner over by where the actual gun seems to be set up. And you also notice across the walls, almost on every surface now as you're flying, you see almost like an asylum, like lunatic scrawling words across the walls. You see the phrase "Mother loves you" over and over and over again, and it looks like it's kind of written in a variety of different things. Some of it's carved, some of it's written. But then you notice in the bottom right-hand corner, or not in the bottom, in the far right-hand corner, there's one phrase in addition to that. You see, "but not you." And that's when you look at the pile and it just looks to be human bodies, human remains in the far corner.
Oh, well,
any weapons there?
I think we found who we're looking for. I'm real scared now. Looks like my ex-wife's been here.
It's really disturbing.
Bear will go over to the bodies and see if there's any like what kind of the state of the remains are, like if there are still like any dog tags or anything like that.
Yeah, you go over. None of them are in marine gear. You start going through them. It looks like there are 3 total bodies. Each one has been killed in the same fashion. It looks as though its head has been crushed, and you can see like the kind of the orbital, like these sort of the eye area has been like crushed and pushed inward as if the face has been smushed in some fashion. Each one of them appears to be wearing what looks to be a Hyperdyne Corporation uniform for like a science, like you would actually, I'll just give it to you. It's like a science vessel, people who would operate like exploration vessels, those types of thing. Not like a, kind of workplace overalls, but like people who are paid well to kind of go off and explore and find different things. And they also, I mean, you can roll specifically, but the bodies are cold, very, very cold when you touch them. So you don't imagine it's any time recent this has happened. Like in the last few hours or days, you don't think so. They're very cold.
I'm fairly certain it is obvious. However, I feel obligated to inform you I'm currently operating at 0% efficiency.
I thought you said you were at 22.
That was before I ruptured a fluid pump.
Oh, is that
How
what
many
that
points
was?
is fluid pump?
River, you want to see if you can help him again?
No, I mean, he looked fine before.
One success.
I feel obliged.
Here we go.
It's better.
But if while you're patching him up, like I mean, this is gonna feel a little gross, Abbott. Actually, you don't feel anything. Who cares? We put some pieces of the green guy on him. We'll give you a skin suit.
I love it. I love it.
Oh God.
That is true. I am the best candidate for it. My skin does not need to breathe like the rest of yours do.
Well, I guess that's a reason too. Okay.
Spuds, in this room, you notice two, other than the place you came in, you noticed two places to go out. You saw there was a kind of an outline of a door on the far end by the sentry turret, and you also noticed that there was a hatch that went into the floor, and then there's the way that you all came. Roll an observation test.
Okay.
I am now operating at 44% efficiency again.
Spuds, you go up to that door itself on the far end. You can see that there is what looks like a security cam, not a security cam, but you see like there's a security display, like a panel. You kind of mess around with it a bit until it actually shows what's on the other side of this door. This looks to probably have once been an extra docking port. But the other side of this door there's just empty space. So some sort of severe damage occurred on the opposite side of this door. So going through this would take you to kind of the other side from where you all came in of the station itself. And you also notice that that on kind of either side, I'm trying to think. To the left, when you come up to this door, there's like a small porthole, and you can see there's little nicks in it, likely where the grenade exploded, and some of the bits of the frag grenade tickled it ever so gently.
What do you say, Sarge? Where are we going?
That's you, Melissa.
Do we have Abbott? You're ready to move a bit?
He's pumping. We're good to go.
All right.
I'm also currently wearing the epidermis of these creatures.
Claymore's just grinning ear to ear as he's like cutting off chunks of synth skin and putting it on Abbott.
So this door will lead us back to somewhere we've already been, like, but through a different route.
Right. So going out the door that you just discovered will take you out into space. So it looks like it's the
outer
opposite.
Space.
Yeah, like outer space. Because it looks like there was a kind of a docking area over here, but it suffered some severe damage. There are hatches in this room going down. There's another hatch in the other side of the T section going down. And then at the base of the T, there was another hatch going down, but they sealed that. So it looks like you've explored the top level. You also know that there was a hatch going up that you all presumed was taking you to turret control. But other than that, the only way kind of seems to be to descend through some of these hatches to go to lower levels of the station.
Down we go.
Going down. I want to open the hatch and I want to toss a pup down there.
Okay.
Map out what we're walking into.
Absolutely. So you toss the pup down, and basically it's about a 15-foot long ladder kind of corridor, and you can see that it kind of details there's some pipe details and such like that, like exhaust and fluid things that are running here and there, electrical bits as well. And then it reaches what looks like the opposite side of the seal, like you would open it up and drop down into the next level. That seems to be closed currently, though. So it's
Oh,
just
okay,
a
so
straight
it's closed
shot.
at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, it's closed at the bottom.
Should I map out the other ones, Sarge?
Sure, go ahead. Find us the best way forward.
Okay.
Who's going back with me? I'm not going by myself.
I'll go with you.
All right.
Thanks, Patty.
So you check the other side of the top part of the T, and it's the same thing as this one. When you go back down to the base of the T where you guys first came in, you can and you set the pups down there. You both of you are immediately nearly pulled into the tunnel into that kind of that corridor going down, as that seems to have been exposed to space, as there's some sort of exterior damage there. But since you're both there, you don't need to roll. You're able to, as you open it up, you hear like an emergency, and you quickly kind of close that stuff back up. But yeah, it's just basically the upper portion of the T is either one of those would probably suit.
Shafts going down and a sealed hatch at the bottom.
Now,
Okay.
you guys also, you're in suits, so the idea of you can do spacewalk stuff if you want. It's just more there was atmosphere in some of these rooms, not all of them that you're coming so far there is, but there might be, there might not. So
I'll take duct tape and wrap around where I got shot by that turret
Gotcha.
on my compression suit.
Gotcha.
So have you found us a way down?
Take your pick, Sarge.
Only thing I would say is that one down there, it's been exposed to the vacuum, so
Let's take the easier route at first if we can.
The spacewalk?
Not the spacewalk.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right.
Okay.
You guys taking us down?
If
Yeah,
I have gone through the trouble of wearing this other synth skin, should I not go first?
Oh,
I don't think the synth skin is. I'll take the legs over the shield. I don't think we're gonna Silence of the Lambs Adam a suit.
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna go that far with it.
Wasn't really anticipating it to work, but it's fun for Claymore.
I don't want to
Alright.
bait Abbott into getting shot.
I'll go first.
Why not?
Go first.
I would feel bad if it destroys you. Okay.
Which one we going down, Sarge?
Just pick red
The
or
The-
room that we just did,
The
or the
non-space
previous
one.
room?
Not the space one.
I'd put a vote for the one in the room. That way, at
Just
least
right or
we're
left?
Right or
Yeah,
left?
right or
Let's
left.
go,
Right.
Sergeant.
not right.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
You climb down. Oh my god.
Stealthily.
We're never finishing this station. It's not gonna
Stealthily
happen. It will
climbing
never
down.
happen. You all will suffocate
Jeff, you have
to
to
death.
just give us
beforehand.
one path. You know that now. You can't give us options.
Yep.
You
Yep.
just
I
wait
just
for him to
gotta.
straighten his
You
secret
guys are
rules.
on. You guys are on the
Yeah.
railroad now. Here
I
we
mean,
go.
When you messed us up with that left turn being the wrong one that last time, now
Yeah,
I don't know where we're going.
we're
you
at
fucked up always left.
we're at
I
Claymore.
apologize.
Yeah.
Okay. You drop down, Spud. You head in there first. Is everyone kind of piling afterwards?
Yeah.
But you're surrounded, it seems, by tanks, some of which have been broken. Others have been filled with an opaque fluid, kind of a greenish brown. You can't see in them. The tanks themselves are think like Star Wars back to tanks. They're that big. And there's a good 6 of them all around this octagonal room. And you can see that in between a few of them, there are doors leading out. One of the doors says, "Do not open this door. Please don't go through this door. Go through the other one." And so that might help you with your decision making. You also notice that more of those "Mother loves you" phrases have been scrawled across the walls here and there.
Well,
But there's-
I hate to put it out there, but I'm a real big fan of going through places that they tell me not to go.
It does look like a big red button I kind of want to press.
Okay.
Go
Well,
through the
just-
other door.
yeah.
Okay. So you open up the door that says "Do not enter."
No, the other one.
Okay. So you open up the other door. Okay. So as everyone funnels in, to this room, and we'll say Spuds and Koenig are, or is it Breacher? Who is like opening the doors? Door kicker, yeah. So I figured Claymore's opening the doors, and then when the doors are open, Spuds is peeking in or whatever.
Behind. Yep.
Okay. Claymore's fixing. He's kind of prying this door open. All of you, with the exception, I guess, of Abbott, you probably would be notified of it as well. But you notice that your TTDs, your radiation devices, begin to start beeping off. Like they're kind of, you see that it's sort of got the yellow, like you're in kind of a room flooded with radiation. I need everybody to everybody roll a d6.
Three.
Ripper and Hutch, or Ripper and Spuds, I should say, both take a point of damage from this.
I'm broken.
Okay. If you are broken by radiation damage, you must make a death roll. Each time you would get another rad. Now, you guys have been in here for 10, 15 seconds or so. Not 10 for like 5, 10 minutes, just a couple minutes kind of poking around, looking around. So you've got a little bit of time still. So this is the equivalent of like strong radiations, like basically one rad per turn. As Spuds, you hear him just start coughing a bit, and you look over, and he's just sort of coughed up some blood on the inside of his mask.
We need to get him out of here, and we need to get some iodine in him fast.
Claymore, go ahead and roll a heavy machinery. Ripper, you're broken as well. Same thing.
Yes.
No. Claymore, roll a heavy machinery as you try to open the door.
Okay. Oh Lord.
I can actually do heavy machinery a little bit.
Do I need to make a death roll?
When you take
Next
another
time.
one, so you have basically you have 10 minutes to get him out, get you guys out of the room. Okay. One's enough. One's enough. It's just one to open it up, and so yeah, you pry it open, and as you do, you see Ripper and Spuds just sort of collapse into like an exhausted heap, spitting up as they do. The door opens, and you can see in front of you. One second. You can see in front of you. Oop, I rolled a wrong thing. There we go. Okay. You can see in front of you there is what looks to be kind of a connecting hallway, passageway. It's like an intersection. And so it comes to a four-way. You see that there's like a red light beaming about in the middle. And you can see that you're on like one side of it, and kind of there's 3 different directions. I know this is terrible for you guys, but there's like 3 different directions you can go: straight, right, and left. But both of them have now been have both Ripper and Claymore have fallen down. What do you guys want to do?
It would be
Let's get
best
through this as quick as we can. Go ahead,
it'd be
Abbott.
best if someone posted up. Wait, no, are you saying that we're still in radiation?
You're in the room. You have 10 minutes basically, but you're in the room still. So, but Claymore has the door open. Doesn't appear to be anything in that passageway moving forward, but you do see it's essentially a 4-way intersection up ahead.
I require medical attention.
As terrifying as that is, I do believe I need to see to them. With radiation, you must get iodine in you fast.
I'm crawling out of the room because you can move when broken. I'm crawling out, hacking, coughing.
And Ripper went down as well.
Yeah. I picked both of them up pretty easily, and bring them into the hallway.
Okay. Do you close the door behind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
And I check the dosimeter that we have in the suit.
Okay. Over the next minute or two, after you close the door, yeah, it does begin to deplete.
Okay.
So it does seem to go down. It's that room specifically, something with those tanks. More than likely.
Okay. Well, when in doubt, always left.
So you step forward into the. Go ahead, Abbott.
I must insist. As I look at everyone before allowing anyone to move on.
hold on here. We need medical attention.
I'll keep a lookout as best as I can.
Observation.
I'll post
test,
up with you.
Both of you observation test then.
Kill 2 cents in the morning. Kill 2 cents at night. Kill 2 cents before I kill 2 cents. That might feel all right. I got one.
Keeping it together. See, you just got to roll low, man. Small pools.
Yeah.
So you guys get up towards the intersection while Abbott stays back to help Ripper and Spuds. Barrett, I don't know what you're doing, but Claymore and Koenig, you're at the intersection. You're both looking, seeing which way. There's, again, nobody in this intersection, but you look off to the left, and you can see that there has been some damage done to the passageway to the left, where a significant amounts of pipes and vents have fallen down. Now you can still see the door on the other side, but you see that there is a giant circle that has been drawn in it, and you see that there is a line that's kind of crossing through it in a horizontal fashion, much like a "Do Not Smoking" sign. But you see that it's been like kind of drawn and smeared in some kind of brown goo.
Look like a target symbol, sort of bunch of circles.
Looks like a
"Do not enter."
It looks like a "Do Not Smoking" sign, except the cigarette's not there.
It's written in brown. You think that's someone had some bad burritos or something?
I mean, if anybody knows that shit, it's you.
Well, I certainly do. Well, let's wait for the other two to get patched up.
Yeah, I failed my first roll.
Okay, you put. Yeah, so I assume you're backing up on that, Barrett. So do you want to push your medical aid roll on whoever his first attempt was?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, good.
2
there
successes.
You go. Who was the first one on, Adam?
That probably would have been not Hutch. Spuds. As he was the first one to show symptoms. So yeah.
Okay. No longer broken. Take a health back.
Thanks, Sarge.
Okay.
And then I'll see to Ripper.
Okay. Then Claymore and Koenig, you also see up ahead, you can see there's a like the door up ahead is labeled galley, and then you can see off to the right, it looks like there's barracks of some kind. Same deal. So Ripper, you're up again.
Okay.
Abbott's went through, so you don't have to do yours, Barrett.
Yeah, and you can only really give someone medical aid if they are broken. So.
All right. Are we hungry or do we need a nap?
How you guys are both unbroken now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm operating at 57%.
Oh shit, with the statistics.
Goddamn math. Do you see what you've done here, Abbott? Now you have the rest of them doing it.
PvP's coming.
Now I'm going to start doing percentages.
If you were to do percentages, I would have an extreme amount of pride for you, dear friend.
It'll be fine.
There's a
Claymore.
50-50 chance I'm going to punch you in the face.
Are we okay to move onward?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Sorry, buddy. Listen, I feel like there's a 25% chance that we shouldn't go down the hallway with a big sign on it. See, Claymore, I just did that. Throw a percentage at you.
Oh,
I'm going to punch you in the guts. And I'll do a better job than that stupid robot did.
All right. Anyway, Sergeant. Get a snack or take a nap.
Which way are you going?
The galley is the most left path we could have taken from the initial left path.
Onward, yes.
To the galley.
All right, so straight ahead to the galley. My goodness. Okay, so you wander forward. You open the fucking door to the galley, and you notice something a little peculiar here in that in this galley where there's like these two nooks on either side, like these comfort, these like kind of cushioned seating areas like booths at a restaurant, and those kind of octagonal tables. An octagon table like in the middle, so you can kind of sit here and there. You see that there are a series of bodies that are sitting here, as though sitting to eat of some kind. You flash the light around because everything's kind of dark in here, and you realize that these are not synthetic bodies, as it looks like 6 different human bodies have been sitting up, kind of posed or positioned in such a way as if to eat at this table. You notice that periodically on the other side of the room, there's like this kind of flickering of electricity in some of the panels on the wall. It gives a little bit of light in here, and you can see that there's some wires that are hanging down from the ceiling as well.
Are these wires holding these bodies up?
Roll an observation there, Abbott. They do, in fact, seem to be holding the bodies up. It does seem like all the wires that are hanging down are kind of like keeping them up, almost like they're puppets.
It appears that they are giving themselves assignments, much like they were treating themselves as in grade school. See this diorama?
Barrett will go kind of take a look and see if it's similarly Hyperdyne employee wear.
You step forward. Go ahead and actually, if you're going in, you don't have to worry about rolling observation. I'll just give it to you. A few things you notice. First of all, you notice that there are indeed, of the 6, 4 of them seem to be wearing Hyperdyne Corporation outfits. One of them seems to be wearing a kind of nondescript set of coveralls, and you see another one is wearing which you would recognize as the kind of the blue LaSalle Bionational coverall that's characteristic of their various service ships. You also notice that all of the bodies seem to be mismatch. So it looks as though they have been Frankenstein-like systematically deconstructed and then sort of pieced back together in places, much like little boys in action figures. And everyone can go ahead and take a stress and then roll for panic.
Sorry, mine's a -2 because I got Nerves of Steel now, so it's nothing.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, looks like some trembling, some twitching.
Not
yeah,
too bad.
Yeah, looks fine. Most of it. Yeah, like everyone's pretty
Considering what we
fine,
just saw.
keeping it together. Yeah.
Is there any more like writing on the wall in here?
You look around the room, and you do in fact see a few things. You notice though that it's not like the same mother loves you, but you in fact, hang on, let me pull it up. But it's in fact a series of like phrases that look kind of peculiar. One of them says something along the lines, like kind of scrawled, like mother opens her mouth and on her tongue is wisdom.
Very Alabama of them.
Claymore.
Yes. Sorry, just
Your high rate seems elevated.
of course it's elevated.
Do you require some nap relief?
Don't go pumping me full of that nonsense.
Ripper?
Yeah.
You've developed some essential tremors.
Yeah, it's just my nerves.
Barrett, you also notice sprawled across the table itself, for everyone that cursed our mother shall be put to death.
But you're essentially trembling as well.
No, I was sorry. Mine was a -2.
Oh,
So
okay.
Keep it
I see.
together.
Sorry.
So we need to figure out who this creature considers their mother.
Right. And after that table message, we all need to start brushing up on our bestial mama jokes. Did we see any other ways out of this room, or is it a dead end?
Nope, there's ways out.
Okay.
I was afraid to tell you.
Yeah, that's fair.
There are two ways out. But doing some basic sort of geometry in your head, sorry, Claymore, you would think that the passageway on the right would take you to the same place that likely would be the barracks in that direction, because you imagine the barracks kind of extend in a certain direction. And there's a passageway on the left, so it's more like, if you think like it's a triangle, there's 3 doors. One you came in, one goes probably off to the barracks, and then one heads off, it seems, in a different direction.
Well, we were talking about taking a nap there, Sergeant. We'll head towards the right, go to the barracks.
Think it's safe to do so.
Do I think it's safe to do so?
I don't think it's safe to do so.
I mean, no. I mean, this place is wildly fucked up. One of my ex-wife's family reunions. Everyone's just a blood-sucking asshole.
Why would the assholes why would it?
Just don't think about it too hard. It's just an expression.
Well, there's a certain percentage of assholes.
I believe he was referring to a euphemism. He was attributing bloodsucking to what is normally known in mythology as a vampire, feeding off the essence of another person.
Oh,
And
Claymore,
in this case, asshole
roll
being
a
a jerk.
mobility test.
I was about to say I was going to fist both of you assholes and then thought better of it. Mobility. Okay.
Yep.
I apologize, dear friend. I was only trying to help you understand.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You gonna push?
I don't know if he would have a reason to know he needs to push. Is
Okay.
that
So from one of those panels that was starting to sparkle and cackle with electricity, you watch as an arc of electricity just leaps out and buries itself kind of right into Claymore's back. He's hears the sound, turns around, but it's too late. And at that point, you feel this cascading like numbness just course down your body. You take 2 points of damage, and you are stunned. So you lose kind of a slow action, basically. It's at that point you guys hear a strange creaking, and you look up and you can see that in the ceiling above the table where all the wires are kind of hanging from, you see that there's these kind of strange makeshift sort of pulleys and other things that are kind of connected to different wires and sort of disappears into the grates above. And you can see the wires begin to move, and the bodies that are sitting here that are stitched together Frankenstein-like, slowly their heads kind of turn, arms kind of move in this really strange and peculiar manner that go ahead and take another point of stress.
Oh, crap.
And Ripper, you notice above one of the doors on the far side of the room, another one of those like security cams just moves and is sort of pointing in your direction now and looking over everything that just transpired.
I'd like to immediately go over and see if I can do some comm teching on it.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you just kind of reach up, pull the bottom part of the panel from underneath the belly, and just kind of yank a few of the wires out, and that's kind of shuts it down. Whatever was looking through this and watching you is no longer doing so.
Can we see?
No, that's not where camera belongs.
Yeah. Can we see where these lines feeding up to? You said they feed up and then go to like some kind of like pulley system.
Yeah, it just looks like somebody or something has created. It's not just wires, but it seems to actually be connected. Go ahead and roll observation,
Okay.
Koenig. Like up until the vents above. Yeah, you notice. Yeah, you notice there's a fan up there. there's two of these dual kind of vent fans that, as the wires are moving, they're slowly creaking, which is causing like the movement of the wires a bit here and there.
Okay, so it's not actively, it looks like just the movement of the fans causing it, not something's up there actively pulling specific lines.
Yeah, you do not see anything up here. No, just looks like the fans moving, like ever so slightly too. It's like, and then it goes back, and you see a head, like the heads just. It almost looks like they're kind of bobbling as they move.
This is fucked up place. Did we ever decide if we could just nuke this and be gone?
You can nuke it, but one of the things you're looking for is any signs of the hysteria, because that's like the main thing, like this big ship that's missing. And you do know that a bunch of signals were beamed into deep space into this towards this particular station. And you're just trying to figure out who's been here, who's sending these signals, that kind of thing. Ideally, you would probably want to be going towards like the bridge or to engineering or something like that to perhaps dig into the systems.
Try to cut some of these wires. Like, does it look like something that can
you can do that.
Cut through?
Yeah, no problem. And then like you see all of the bodies just kind of like shamble and fall limp and fall down to the table.
Feels a bit more respectful for these folks to not be so tight up. I think we need to keep moving forward.
I agree. So, Sergeant, we saw that we could head to the barracks. There was the door with the big "Do Not Enter" sign. And then there was the other door back through the radioactive room with some more "Do Not Enter." I say we go check out these barracks. I don't think we're going to find anything, but it keeps us moving.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Forward we go.
You move forward into the barracks up ahead. Okay, so the doors themselves don't seem to have any difficulty opening them. You get through the one out of this room. You go through a small hallway, and then as you go to open up the door that goes into the barracks themselves, all of you feel yourselves suddenly getting kind of lighted, like lightweight, like as if gravity has suddenly been shifted off. Those of you at the front, so probably Claymore and Spuds, you would notice there is some kind of sort of bluish light somewhere inside of these barracks. It actually looks a little bit like a cutting torch light. You also see what looks like a series of bunks that have been lined up along the wall. And as you peer inside, you can see that there are a handful of bodies that are just floating in the air.
Are we close enough that we can just try to take out whatever is running that cutting torch?
Yeah, you can see the torch itself. Everything's dark, lights are off, etc. But every time the torch is on, you can see that it's getting closer to you. It's like it's slowly moving up, using these floating bodies as cover as it's encroaching upon where the door you just opened is.
I mean, if it's already breached in there, probably just throw a grenade.
I think we all can throw a grenade, focus fire.
Well, when we opened it, we didn't feel the pressure difference of vacuum, did we?
You did not, no. You just felt kind of a lightness kind of overtake you.
Artificial gravity's out, not the it's not hole breached. I would recommend against grenades. Let's just shoot it.
All right, focus fire.
Okay. So this conversation happened, which allowed that torch to close in, and you can see as it gets closer to you, it's one of those golden skin maintenance jacks that's charging at everyone in the air, just sort of like floating like horizontally towards you, like this torch out in front. So yeah, let's just do a quick initiative to see if they get the attack off before you. Kind of can react. Let's do that. And then all. Koenig, you see it coming at you. It gets within about a few feet, and you can tell exactly what it is as it kind of dodges through this like the sort of floating debris in the room. You're up.
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to aim, but since I have that tremble, it'll just even to my natural score.
Okay. Oh my.
Okay.
Wow.
So what is that 5 damage?
Yep.
And then I got to roll
Indeed.
stress. Fuck, I dropped something.
Okay. Something
Welcome,
important.
Raiders. We just
Okay.
started combat.
We have the tail. Thank you very much for the raid. We're playing Alien tonight. They are currently getting attacked by a alternate model working Joe android, and zero graph. So good times. Koenig, you dropped something. What did you end up dropping?
That was my medical kit.
Okay, your medical kit goes tumbling into the air as the zero grav. It just sort of floats away. This thing you fire, you do what? 5 damage to this thing? 4 damage? 5 damage? Okay. Oh yeah, it's still standing. Or it's not standing.
Right.
It's still floating towards you perilously. Abbott, what do you want to do? This thing's all the way at the end too. All the way at the end. Abbott.
I will attempt to take a shot at it with his gun, and Abbott's not necessarily known for his marksmanship, but he's gonna do it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Do it nonetheless. You completely kill Koenig. He's dead.
Yep.
All
Bound
right.
Now I can get to work.
Damn you.
Spuds. So you see Koenig kind of taking up a little bit of the door. Abbott's leaning over him and trying to fire. You can see this torch coming towards you and like carrying it and floating it Superman style as this golden maintenance jack. What do you want to do, Spuds?
Fire.
Okay, do it. Firing into the... Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Push it.
Poor Koenig.
Pushed it. All right. 4 successes.
Oh yeah, you rip through these things. You aim down. You're right over the shoulder. Maybe you rest the butt of the gun right on Koenig's shoulder. Fire away. You see the entire room just erupt, and these little droplets of white just begin cascading all over the place, smashing against the wall. The torch continues to come towards you, by the way. It's like the momentum is still kind of carrying, but you're all able to kind of dodge, step out of the way as this thing slides past you and kind of smashes against one of the walls. The cutting torch drops to the ground. The torch itself turns off. And you have now a floating carcass of a maintenance jack in here that's not moving at all. Okay. So you don't see any other movement other than like whatever the sort of consequences of the movement of the maintenance jack through the room was. So other than that, it's again still very dark. Handle of cubbies the left and right, but for the most part, this looks to be kind of a free room. But there are what looks like 3 bodies that are floating around in here.
Barrett wants to take a look at those bodies.
Yeah, you float over, you kind of kick your feet off one of the walls, drift into the room itself, grab a hold of one of them, can turn it around. And you can see, much like that other room where you found a pile, their heads are just completely caved in. If you had to guess, likely someone took their thumbs and just pushed down as hard as they could on the eyes and the orbital bones here. Crushing it would take a significant strength to do so. But they are human. You see another LaSalle Bio National uniform. And then you see what looks like 2 black Weyland-Yutani labeled coveralls. Matt, that's a great question. No one has ever asked to use their motion tracker, so I don't ask them to do it because it's more fun to spring that shit on them when they forget about it. But I think someone might have a motion tracker. Yeah.
Does
I'm not sure.
I don't think we do.
No one's got a motion tracker.
No, I just got
take a
pops.
motion tracker.
No, I have nap relief.
That's what Matt's
No.
for.
I
Okay.
just have like all the guns.
I could have sworn someone had a motion tracker. Good to know.
All
right.
Yeah, I don't.
Good to know. All right. So just to make
Do
things a
have
little quicker,
high beam shoulder lamp to get us through this room.
you float around to the other side of the barracks, and you can see that it kind of like wraps around, and it looks to be going back eventually towards, you would imagine, that kind of tank room where you had your troubles in the radiation area, and the door that's like, no, don't go that way. You think it would just sort of coast back towards where you just came from.
All right. What do you think, Sergeant?
We still haven't found any kind of bridge type area.
Well,
No,
there was...
perhaps
Go ahead.
perhaps we could get some sort of directory from a terminal. I know that there was one terminal that was not very operational, but if we come across any.
I don't remember seeing any.
There's consoles all over the place. It's just no one's really asked to use them, but some of them have been working, some of them is shorting out, so it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, you see some here and there.
Is there one in the room that we're in?
Not in the barracks, but if you go back into the galley area, there was a wall filled with them. One of them shorted out, but if Ripper gives me a Comtech roll, she could probably make it work.
Ooh.
Yeah, she most certainly does. Not only do you manage to
Nice.
cut off whatever strange short that was and bypass that electrical outburst, but you do manage to dip into the basic layout of the station, and you can see that there are a grand total of 6 levels, and that the kind of bridge area is on level 3, which is 1 level down from where you're at, and that engineering seems to be on level 5, which is several levels below you. The rest on this floor, there appears to be some kind of lab, which kind of corresponds to the area that had that circular do not enter sign. And then the same where you guys were when you got your radiation effect, that also seems to be some kind of lab. Doesn't say what kind, it just says lab. 1 level down looks to be a series. One of them has a medical facility. Looks like there's a kind of a sort of nursing, or not nursing area, but there's like a med lab. And there seems to be a series of labs, just plain labs. As you keep digging further, you also find personnel files, Ripper. But strangely enough, all of the personnel files have been scrubbed to the point where there's no actual names. You just see like a list of, I don't know, you're not sure exactly. It's a kind of a hierarchy of levels. You see something almost kind of like religious terminology. Go ahead and roll. Let's see, what would work for this? You can roll a wits, I suppose. Just roll straight wits if you want.
Oh.
Okay. You recognize that it's kind of like a hierarchy of like degrees of sort of angelic power. So there's like references to like seraphim, cherubim, dominions, virtues, angels, archangels kind of listed. And it's just sort of almost derangedly creating this kind of power tree, like you'd expect commander of station, XO, and it's like all of that's kind of replaced. And at the very top where the kind of commander XO should be, it just says Dominion at top.
It looks like I'm gonna drop my electrical tools.
Okay. Oh no.
I wasn't using them, right?
They're not important, right? Not important for a Comtech Marine.
No, not at all. We got spares somewhere.
Yeah.
So, Ripper, with what you've seen, you can kind of map out a path for us to get to like a bridge area.
Yeah, we should go down. We should go down 2 levels, but we might want to stop by some of the medical areas in the level below us. But there's also labs below us. We don't know what's going on in those labs.
We do not.
but descent we must.
Sounds good to me. It sounds like, looks like a good number of us could use a little bit of medical attention.
I can assume there would be more perverse debauchery going on.
More than likely.
Okay.
So you map out a path down.
Yeah, you have a map now. So you basically can kind of find your way to entrances and hatches and things. But eventually you work your way down. You said you want to go to the med lab. Is that right? Okay. You pop down. There's no immediate resistance as you pop into what looks like kind of a central corridor that connects to all the different rooms here and there. You see a lot of the vents themselves, like the floor grating has been ripped or torn apart in some way. You see a couple of the pipes that are in the ceilings of each of these passageways have been ripped down, and they're just kind of laying on the ground, like these segments of heavy duty pipes that have been just dropped here and there. You move across the sort of this open passageway. You get to this med lab, and you can see that when you step inside, you immediately hear and you hear cracking of something like a metal on the ground. And when you start flashing the lights around, you see at the very end, at the very last second, like a vent the vent covering has fallen to the ground, and you see like the last bits of what looked like a service kit, one of those like spider-like ones that just sort of scrambles into the vent itself, not staying in the room. Roll an observation test.
Is that everyone or one?
Yeah, anyone's fine. Anybody who wants to do it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, because I know there's stress and stuff. All right, let's see. Koenig did well, and
Mine is -2,
Spuds.
actually.
Okay, Koenig and Spuds. All right. Okay. So you guys are looking around this med bay, and you find a handful of med kits and other pharmaceuticals here and there. I'll get you a full list later. You can see that there looks to be what looks like three cryo kind of treatment beds. Not cryo. What am I thinking of? The same thing that the med pods that was actually helping out Koenig. That are recessed in one section of the room. You see like there's this whole little office area that's behind protective glass. That glass has been shattered in some way, but it hasn't fully fallen, but you can see it's just sort of been shattered, like someone shot at it or thrown something at it here or there. You can see there's a treatment bed, and then there's a stool that's been kind of knocked over. When you go over towards the cryo beds, you realize that one of them the med pod beds, you see this seems like one of them is on. When you look over, the other two on the opposite sides, like the one in the middle is on. You can see the lights blinking, it's actually functioning, and the ones on the right and the left have been opened up as if they're not currently occupied.
I'll go forward and look and see what's in the med pod.
Okay. You step up and you look through the window of the med pod, and you don't see a person in there, but you do see that it's occupied by kind of this pale gray creature. The creature is probably the best way to describe it. You can see kind of this oblong head that is kind of extended backwards significantly into like a kind of a point in the very end, and it kind of comes almost like a fingernail to the front, where you see it doesn't look like it has any clear kind of eyes that you can tell, but it has this sort of large mouth that you can see has these heavy sharp teeth, and as you lean down to kind of take a look, you watch as this creature suddenly thrashes around, and we'll go ahead and stop there for this episode.
Neomorph.
Neomorph, indeed.
Should cut the power where I had the chance.
All right. So that's it. Yeah, that's it for this one. Let's go ahead and turn the music off.
I like the Neomorphs.
I do too. Big fan. They're fun.
Decision making is so much easier when you have a map and you know what door to go through.
The left one, no, the other one.
Oh my god. There's other stuff there's some great stuff in here. Okay, cool. Let's do a closing round up. Chuck, what's going on with the Defenders this week?
Yeah, if you swing by Wednesday on Defenders of Cobalt, 9 p.m., we're going to be 9 p.m. Central. We're going to be playing some Pathfinder. Second edition. Jeff and Jeremy will be hanging out over there. Thursday, 9 p.m., we're doing our 5th Ed Ghibli-inspired campaign called Watercolors and Warriors. And then Friday, 10 p.m., we're doing basic fantasy role-playing game. And then, Saturday, 1 p.m., Forbidden Lands.
And are we starting something Saturday night? I believe that's this week, right? Darkest House.
I think we are. Yeah, we're starting Darkest House on Defenders at 9 p.m. on Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
Game.
Yeah, it's me and you. It's Monty Cook. So if you're familiar with like Cypher System, Numenera, same designer, that kind of stuff. So Haunted Halloween. Perfect time, October to start.
Perfect time.
Very cool.
Let's see. Jen, what are you doing this week?
Hey everybody, tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Central on my channel Pixel Prowler, we will be continuing Tribes of Midgard. And then we'll see you guys on Saturday for some Forbidden Lands at 1 p.m. on the DOK Defenders of Cobalt channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Adam, what about you, sir?
Yeah, I'd like to plug The Wretched again. Here's the link for it. And if you wanted to check out how I do on soundtracks, that's a good way to check it out. It's a very campy, extremely campy, independent horror film involving the cult. And if you do check it out, I'd recommend turning on the subtitles because there are just a few scenes where it's a little too quiet for the dialogue. But other than that,
good tip.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Matt. Old Matty.
Tomorrow night we kick off a original Call of Cthulhu adventure over on the Sirenscape Twitch channel. Myself will be there, and Jeff and Melissa will be present, as well as others. And then Thursday night, I'm going to be a player in Jeff's Delta Green game over on Garblight Games at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Same time for Call of Cthulhu tomorrow. And Sunday night's Alien. Oh, no Alien this week. It's Canadian Thanksgiving. No Alien this Sunday. So just those two games for me.
Wow.
And that for the rest of the week.
Wow.
Cancel for Canadian
apparently the
Thanksgiving.
Frontier War stops for
that's right,
Canadian Thanksgiving.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Claymore. Jeremy.
I mean, I'm okay with it. That's fine. I'll just be playing more games with you beautiful people. And then, if you like comics, you check out Black Blizzard on Kickstarter. It's cool.
Indeed. This is number 2 for Black Blizzard as well. There should be, I think they have a command. Let me double check. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this is number 2. So you can get both issue 1 and issue 2. Perfect. As for me, a bunch of stuff has already been mentioned. Thursday over on Garblag, we're in Delta Green. Friday, we're back on our channel right here doing our Delta Green campaign, our Impossible Landscapes, which is really starting to heat up now in part 3. Saturday, we're back to Blades in the Dark. Next Monday, a week from today, no more, not Ailing because we alternate, but we're doing Ultraviolet Grasslands, where they have acquired part of a giant alien centipede and infused a possibly evil, amoral queen into the rest of those giant alien babies, and then send it down to the core of the earth. Yeah, it's fine. It's going to the core of the earth. What could possibly go wrong if it reaches the core of the earth? But that's it. Let's see. Thank you to everyone who hung out. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the raids. And thank you for just watching. So, and if you're watching this later on YouTube, appreciate that as well. Watch all these other people's stuff. Great things. I'm going to throw us on the end screen and raid somewhere else, so you can kind of keep watching stuff rather than go to sleep, because no one wants to do that. Because if you do that, then the week continues, and that sucks. So, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.